Well, good morning again. As you can see right here, I've got 3 ears of sweet corn, and that I planted a whole bunch here, and the dogs got into it, and for some reason they like digging up around the corn. I have no idea what it is. I've run into that problem here since I started planting corn. So they killed a lot of it and that. But I thought I'd try today and see what the ears look like, because they looked pretty full grown and wound up with 3 ears. But I kind of want to give you an idea here. Okay, I took the ear right off of here, and if you see the crawling bugs and the black ants are one thing here, but there's a different type of a bug that actually eats at the corn. And I'll kind of move it up here a little bit more. I think you'll get a little bit better idea of that they're eating at the outside. The corn is very short, maybe 4.5 to 5 feet. Again, we're lacking a little something here in the nutrients and that. And like I said, this is what we work at every day, and that to get this up. I'll get a few more ears out of here, so at least today we'll enjoy some sweet corn and that, and hopefully get a few more ears out of here, even though I've got the onions planted right here. And like I've mentioned before, the onions really grow almost anywhere. This is a little different variety of onion here. I can tell generally by the green. It's a different shade of green than the other plants I have here. And maybe you can tell I'll quickly move over to our other onion field here. And you might be able to tell here. These have all done real good. If you notice though, the ground here, can you hear that? That's what 10 days without rain do. Even the soil that I've added compost to and continuously turn the hard cover on the ground, it turns almost like rock. The only thing that really loosens it up, and that is another good rain. And as the ground soaks up the water, it will soften up too. But that's something else that we deal with here, that when the dry season comes, impossible. The ground just turns to rock. Easy to break up because I've included so much compost in it. And that I've got to go through and kind of trim these onions, get rid of the dead stuff and that. But without that rain, even for a few days here, because the heat, the temperature automatically, and it's a clear sky today, so it'll be up in the low to mid 90s and that, and as low as we get at night is maybe 70, mid 70s and that's kind of the temperature range here. So well, at least I got a little bit of corn here, 3 ears. It'll be enough for one meal. My beans here, as you can see, are still producing, starting to die a little bit, and that's going to happen now that unless I get some rain here. I wish I was in the position that I could water these and that. A few years ago when my well was actually up and running and I had water in it, I've got connections. I actually, when I ran the pipe from the well up to the holding tank up by the house, I put different connections along the way so I can hook up a hose to it, and actually did water the garden in that. Of course, the earthquake here 3 years ago took that ability away from us here. So, like I said, you deal with the daily life here that's and trying to garden and farm that I've never had problems with, of course, in the States. So, I'm going to let you folks go again. The internet's been an impossibility the last 2-3 days here. I think I mentioned where it was so good for a couple days there. I was uploading 5-6 minute videos in 10-15 minutes, and we're back to not quite normal, which is half a day, but now we're talking in the vicinity to load that same video a couple hours, and down to 1 hour and that. So, and Beth actually was unable to load into Philippine Expat Country Living, her YouTube channel, for 2 days. So any of you folks that went there and that probably found that out, that she finally back this morning, it came back. But that is the Philippines and the internet here. It's a roller coaster ride. When it's good, it's good. When it's bad, and when it's absolutely horrible, it's horrible. So I'm going to say goodbye again, just walking down towards my old rice fields here, and our bean patch that's still producing like there's no tomorrow, and that. And I see Doro down, that's Andoy. Andoy's down below, and he's taking water out of the pond and watering the peppers and the tomato plants that are down there. So we'll say goodbye again. Thanks for viewing. Like and subscribe, and we'll be back again.